Yeah, it's an exciting time for our club and our supporters. We feel as if we've covered all areas in our preparation to be able to be competitive in the AFL season, and obviously we got a solid hit out against Collingwood, who we certainly have a tremendous amount of respect for, and realise the work that needs to be done to be able to be one of the top sides in the competition.
You got an amazing start to the season. I think Bulldogs, Sydney away, St Kilda, Blues, Collingwood again in round 5. How do you see that panning out?
Yeah, we sort of, a lot of people have said, you've got a tough draw, but we're quite excited about it. I mean, we're going to see where we're at after round 5 or 6. We'll know exactly what the Bombers are going to come up with in 2011. And, the challenges there, obviously, round 1, the Bulldogs, and then we travel to Sydney and play them up there. So we'll see how we go, and hopefully in the next over the next first 5 rounds, we'll know exactly where we're at and know who we can challenge.
Round 1 as well, Bulldogs. I mean, they've been a bit of a nemesis at times.
Yeah, they're a great side. It's well documented, their skill level and their fitness. But look, we think that we've put in place a game structure that can stand up. As soon as we go away from that, we understand that our football breaks down, and we just have to learn to keep implementing what the coaches have taught us over the summer. I think everyone's spoken strongly about our defensive side, but I think we've really worked on our fitness. Our fitness is at a new level across the board, so which obviously helps when you have to defend.
There's a lot of positives coming through, but is it fair to say the single biggest one's just the atmosphere, the mood around the whole place?
Yeah, it's quite incredible. I think James has the ability to bring people together, and he's certainly brung his coaches in, and they've been fully behind him with that. And he's a very family-orientated person. Just Saturday night just gone, him and his wife Tanya had the whole playing group around with kids and family, and we had a great barbecue together. And just that type of environment creates a really good bond amongst the players and the wives and girlfriends. And I think that's flowing into our training. We turn up to training ready to train, happy to be here and happy to play for our footy club. So it's he has the ability to bring people together, which is a real key thing.
Has that been the biggest change? The social side, not so much the social side of things, but not playing, but just the bonding in the team?
That's been one of them. I think James has got a very relaxed approach to AFL footy. He's serious when he needs to be, but you can be yourself around him and the other coaches as well, and that's been fantastic for all of us. I think James has identified, I suppose, the playing group and what they're like, and he's really strong on certain points about being good people, about being good role models, representing the Essendon Football Club in a great way, and I think that just helps build, I suppose, some spirit around the footy club, which maybe had dropped off over the last few years with not much success, and so that's where he started from, and it's really starting to show through, and it's a positive step for our footy club. We understand we need to get better on the field with our footballing, but if we get it right off the field, it'll flow onto the field.
What about your own game? You're sort of happy with your own form at the moment?
Yeah, going okay. Getting older, but I've worked really hard. It's been the first time in a long time that I've been able to do 100% of the training in pre-season at a high intensity, so I think that's helped. But I'm happy to be a part of a team of young guys, and I just try and help them where I can.
How important? Elwyn, is there any talk of him possibly? He had some work still on the arm.
Yeah, he's still a chance to play round 1. They'll give him every opportunity. He's obviously been able to run, so that's a great thing. He's not going to lose much fitness. Obviously, will be the physical side, will be the test, and he'll be tested right up until that first game on the Sunday, and they'll give him every opportunity to play. But at this stage, he'll be tested strongly, and hopefully he'll be able to play.
How important was it for you guys? There were a couple of times you were in big trouble on Friday night against the Premiers.
Yep.
But you were able to come back a couple of times quite hard after three-quarter time, and then after half-time, and then again in the third quarter.
Yeah, I think that's an important part of what James has brought to the club. No matter what situation you're in, you can always fight the game out or try and get back in and get it on even terms, and we did that. To Collingwood's credit, they're a great side, and they responded in the way a premiership side should. So look, we were happy with that. There were still areas of our game we need to improve on. We realise that we've played teams that have been undermanned as well, so we're not. Melbourne were undermanned, and obviously St Kilda with a few of their players. So we realise that the real pressure hasn't started yet, and that'll come on Sunday against the Bulldogs in a few days' time. So we're pretty excited by that, but we think we'll have something that can stand up amongst the players.
And just on that second quarter where the ball was like a trampoline in your forward line, you were and you were getting caught handballing, trying to break their zone.
Yep.
Was that a bit of sort of cause for sort of reflection at half time and sort of, right, we have to change up the way we're doing things?
Yeah, well, that's where footy's at. You've got to be a highly skillful side to break down a press, and we'll be coming up against the Bulldogs that are a highly skillful side. So look, we probably overhandballed at times, and James made us well aware of that at half time, and we tried to get out there and get the ball in and kick it long, and beat that press over the back. And that's part of learning, and if we can sway it more kicking than handballing when you're trying to break a press, I think we can go all right.
How intimidating is that press? Is it indestructible, or if you execute really well, is it possible to do that?
Yeah, it's possible. It's certainly Collingwood do it as good as anyone, so that's where it gets a little bit tough. But we feel like if you can move the ball quickly and beat the press with your skills, you can certainly make a game of it. But in saying that, when we're in our press, we're trying to do the same thing. So look, it's beatable, but you do have to be a highly skilled team to do it. That's why our skills we've worked on intensely over the summer as much as we possibly can.
Just the tactics as well. How much of that has been from Bomber and from Brennan, I suppose, as well, and how much of that has been based from Hurdy? Yeah,
it's been interesting. Hurdy takes control of it a lot. I'm sure James and Bomber speak behind closed doors a lot, and they go out with a plan. Bomber's really relaxed. He sits back and he makes point and views when he feels. I think he's been very cautious of not stepping on Hurdy's toes. They work really well together. You can just see it, and they're often speaking together off to the side about different things, and then Hurdy will come in. So look, we've just got a really good team, and Simon Goodwin's really impressive as a midfield coach. Sean Wellman obviously is great, and Brennan, who totally knows so much about football. It's quite amazing to have a person come into the footy club and is so confident in his views, but in a respectful way, and we really appreciate that. It's really good.
You've spoken about a lot of positives. How long has it been since you personally have been disappointed about it this season?
Look, I mean, when you play AFL footy and you go through a career, you have certain challenges in your football career, and unfortunately I've had a few injuries over the past that's held me back and haven't been able to put my best foot forward. But the best thing about this year is the coaches have come in with a clean slate of all players, and they've really put a lot of faith in me, and 30 years old now, and they've just been terrific for my career, and it's really freshened me up. And as I said, I've been able to do all the training, which makes a huge difference, and that's a lot of our young players starting to come through now because they've been able to do that. You certainly are behind the eight ball if you can't put in a strong, consistent pre-season at 100%, and I've just been able to do that. But I'm just very fortunate to be part of this club at this time. I've been here 13 years now, and it just adds to the excitement of playing and turning up.
So how long since the club's been disappointed?
Probably 3 or 4 years, I'd say. It's we probably. When Nida first come in with his coaching group, were really buoyant, and we didn't win as many games as what we hoped, and Matthew worked really, really hard to get us in positions to be able to win football games. It just didn't work out. Now James has come in, obviously, he's played here and a legend of the club. I think it just, players look at him in a different light. A lot of young players are in awe of him, which I think helps, and of course Bomber, and those two guys just complement each other really, really well. And as I said, we are very fortunate to have this group of coaches around us. From the outside, people might look in and think, what's the Bombers doing? How are the players relating to this? But I can tell you, as a player, we just really love having those coaches around us. They've been terrific for us so far, and we feel that our results will be reflective of that.
In terms of the next 2 weeks, what does that hold in terms of preparation?
Well, we've got training all this week, which will be pretty solid. We'll get 2 or 3 days off over the weekend to really get yourself ready. So your utmost professional approach to round 1, and then Monday we'll train really hard and get into it. My wife's due in 6 days, mate, so I'll be sitting beside the phone or sitting next to her and waiting for our first to come along. So pretty quiet for myself.